I'm assuming someone in our audience works for an airline, or I have to ask, why is everything so fucked up all the time? Like, I
All
hate
the
being
time.
that kind of person, but like, this has been going on since the Wright brothers. Like, why haven't we gotten this down? Like, as a science, why is it not? Why is it the norm, not the exception, for your flight to be delayed, canceled? Someone doesn't show up to work. One of the pilots or one of the stewardesses. What is going on?
I
And
gotta guess it's like a
please,
bunch of different things. Like pilot can't do it, like, or they can't like they don't want to put the flight out if they can't fill it, so they cancel it. Like I don't know. There's
No,
probably a
I don't think
plethora
I
of
don't think that
reasons.
happens. I don't
They
think
were
they
flying empty flights during COVID.
Yeah. I don't think they cancel because it's not full, but I think weather has a lot to do with it, honestly. I think
yeah,
especially driving between Colorado and Kansas, like there was like extreme winds at one point and they had to de-ice our plane, which I think delays them. And then, like there's a bunch of different things I think that delay, but I feel like with the amount of data and information we have about those things, we could get a little bit better at scheduling our
Okay,
flights.
yeah.
Like maybe you
I'm
don't
gonna go.
schedule.
I'm gonna go on
I
the
think
No,
passengers
opposite
should get
side though.
reimbursed if this
maybe
happens. I
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna
we,
go
Maybe
we
on
should
you
the
get a
don't
portion
opposite.
of the
schedule a
money back.
flight.
I'm
Don't
Yeah,
schedule a flight to leave at 7:15 when your other flight lands at 7:12,
yeah.
okay? Because that's not realistic,
I
okay?
think
You know
if every time somebody fucks up, sorry to curse,
it costs them money.
it should cost them money,
Mhm.
and I guarantee you things will get
They'd
more
fix it.
efficient.
They'd fix it.
now.
Guarantee.
Yeah.
Maybe that's true, but I'm gonna go on the opposite end here. It pisses me off to no end. Like I'll literally be losing my mind while flights are delayed and everything else because I hate the airport, hate everything about it. But I remember a comedian changed my mind years ago, and he was like, "Everybody bitches about flights and how it's delayed and everything, blah 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 blah." He goes, "But you're getting to fly in the fucking sky like a fucking bird.
Yeah, I
Like
get that
you're
was
getting to
that,
go somewhere extremely
Yeah.
fast. Like
that was an
how?"
argument in the 40s, Bob. It's not
But it's just like
spectacular anymore.
we like it still is spectacular, and that's something we kind of have to like take into account.
No, you're wrong.
We get to
Mm,
fly like
yeah,
a bird.
agreed.
I mean,
It's
look at me
become
right now. I
it's
have
become to the
wings.
point. It's come to the point. Unless you're traveling extremely far, which Mel was not, right? It
No.
almost doesn't even make sense anymore to fly. Most flights
Right.
that I have taken, unless they're cross country, I'm barely saving time when you add in the trip to
Yeah.
the airport, the time you're waiting.
If you're going state
I
to
don't.
state, yeah.
And by the way, you want to talk about bears? Flying is terrifying. So I'm saving myself an hour and a half of
Flying is
time,
No.
and I'm
terrifying.
flying.
Okay.
And
It's not terrifying.
No, okay,
It's
take that back.
not.
Flying is not terrifying. Landing is
Statistically, it's just not.
terrifying. Landing is
It-
terrifying, especially
It's not
when
terrifying.
we
Oh.
went in one of those huge planes to Paris. The dude that was landing the plane, like he like tapped the right tire, then tapped the left tire, then tapped the right tire, then tapped the right tire again, then the left tire, left, right, boom, 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 boom. And we
It's just
finally
how
landed.
big-
Even the stewardess was like, "Well, our captain's a little bit of a crazy man, but we're down and we're here." And I was like, "Get me off of this plane."
guys
That's
have-
something you want to hear. Yeah.
The flight attendants are pretty funny. They've gotten pretty creative, I will say that. But there are certain airports that really suck at getting flights off on time. And
Yeah.
Dallas is one of them. Okay.
Dallas Fort
I
Worth is a bad
avoid
one, yeah.
flying into Dallas
O'Hare's terrible too.
to save my life because they always like
We
the
gotta get
first
back
time I
on
ever got a
track
flight
soon.
canceled was Dallas. And they were like, "Your flight's canceled. We can get you out on Sunday. It's Friday." And I'm like, I don't need to get out on Sunday. I need to
That
get
was
out
when you were
today."
coming to the Overwatch League Grand Finals, the first one of
Yeah,
that
and we
year
were
in
leaving
New York.
on Sunday. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
The last thing, Bob, real quick, I would agree with your argument that flying is amazing if I had wings strapped to me and I was flying myself.
Yeah,
The fact
that's my
that
point.
I'm in
It's
a
boring.
tin can with people that are way too close to me eating shitty food, that is not spectacular. I'm
And
sorry.
farting.
It's just not.
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's at best
Oh my gosh.
uncomfortable, and at worst terrifying. You know, like there's no actual like wee. Like there's a couple people who are like wee, but there's also the same people who are like that about like trains and stuff. They're like,
Oh, yeah.
like trains are cool. And
Okay.
you know, I can't like base it on everyone's like little specific interest.
Yeah.
But being on a plane is at best boring.
Okay, you can cut this if you want, Bob, but I have to tell you, when I got on my first flight to go to Colorado, I got in there and I was like in, boarding group B. So I was like, okay, this is going to be fine, right? I get an aisle seat and I'm proud of that, right? And then the person that sits in the middle seat, it seemed to be fine, right? I was like, okay. But it was a person with like really big hair.
Oh God.
And then it was just like, and I was trying not to be rude, right? But I'm like, and it's just like itching me, and it's literally taking up half of my seat, I feel
That's so disgusting.
like, yeah. I was like, am I like a horrible person? But like,
No, she's a horrible person.
You need to control your hair
Or he,
and
I
like
don't know.
put it up.
But yeah.
No, it was her. I'm like, just
Yeah, she's a horrible person.
put it up. Like, do not come in with this hair that's this big. Oh,
Oh my God, we're
Yeah.
gonna keep getting on tangents. I have one
No, we're
now
good.
too.
That's it.
No,
Let's
I
stop
have.
there. Oh,
I've got one
right.
down. I was listening to Rooster Teeth podcast, and Barbara on there, she was talking about this same thing. She was talking about how uncomfortable she is sitting next to people. She was sitting next to this guy, and she saw him typing on his phone, and she just glanced over. And he goes, I fucking hate flying, but at least I'm sitting next to some skinny bitch. And she goes, well, at first I was like, oh, he thinks I'm skinny. And then she was like, well, that was kind of mean. I don't know.
He said bitch. Yeah.
Total
exactly.
rant. All right, let's get back on track.